Thanks for joining me for this edition of the Church Security Answer Man. I am so glad that you're joining me today for this episode. And today we're talking about what's in my security closet, my church security closet at church, or our security closet at church. And I just want to share a few things with you, what's important to me and what's in our closet to get us prepared and get us ready to go for the day. So let's get right to it. So first couple things we want to talk about is the paperwork. We do make sure that we have our paperwork. Our security closet is basically right up front near the front doors. It's in the lobby area where we're screening people all the time. And so we have some important things right up front for us to be able to grab and be able to use. And one of those is the incident report form. This is not our form here that I'm showing you, but this is just a incident report form. So whatever you have to document what has happened, what incident has happened, who witnessed it, who saw it. And we do have some incident report forms for you. If you go to churchsecurityanswerman.com, you can see those there. So, and take a look at those. You can download it, print it, and then you've got it. And you can begin to use them right away. So, churchsecurityanswerman.com. So then the next thing that we have is our resource list. And the importance of this resource list is I really see it as a valuable tool, especially if you have a lot of folks that just kind of drop in that maybe you don't let come into service, maybe with mental health issues, those kind of things. And I think it's important to, instead of just saying, we can't help you, you know, here's a donut, here's some coffee, you have to leave, you can't stay here. We have a resource list, and I would highly recommend that for you. And usually most county organizations, Health and Human Services, or whatever they call it in your area, will have a resource list of where people can find mental health, find food, shelter, those kinds of things. And so, and some of those lists can be quite extensive. So our list for our area is about 2 pages. And so we have those 2 pages, and we have those photocopied. We have them sitting right in the security closet in a little basket, so we can grab that and hand it to someone who might be in need of where to go. And it makes that transaction, as I see it, it makes that transaction of, you know, you need to leave kind of thing. It's kind of rough. It's kind of rough for us because we're nice people. It's kind of rough on them because in their mind, they're seeking some kind of help. So this helps smooth that just a little bit for both of you. It gives you are able to send them away with something, makes you feel a little bit better, as well as then they have a resource list if they're not aware of those resources already in the community. So you're still doing something kind for them in that process. So next on our list is we do have a medical kit. In fact, we have a larger medical kit and a smaller medical kit in our church security closet. So just in case we need those, our medical response happens to be only about 2 to 3 minutes away. So they are very close, probably about 6-7 blocks from our facility. So by the time they load up and get to us, they're pretty close. But we do have a medical kit if we needed that. And I think that's very important for us to, you know, sometimes we use it for little stuff, for cuts and that kind of stuff, grab a Band-Aid, but it's there if we need it for bigger stuff as well. So next on our list is flashlights. We do have a few flashlights. We keep those around. You know, it's rare, mainly in the wintertime, that we're having a service during the dark. But it's always good to have those around. I mean, you never know when the power might go out and there's dark areas in the church, or, you know, it just gets to be late. And I've even used the flashlights when I was showing up to do some work and didn't have a flashlight, and it was a little bit dark in the area where I was working. So I would suggest, even though maybe you're only meeting on Saturday or Sunday mornings, that you have that flashlight available to you. So, and get a couple of, they don't have to be expensive ones. We have links down in the description to inexpensive flashlights, and just have those around, keep them in service so that you have them just in case. And like I said, you know, once in a while, that's probably about 3 or 4 times in the wintertime that we have a service that goes into the dark hours. And that's just our church. And so then we pull those flashlights out. But they're a good idea to have those kind of things around. I think you also need a couple of traffic safety vests. If you look at, keeping our people safe, then if you're assigned to the parking lot, I don't know, we don't usually use them if we're just doing patrols in the parking lot. If we're just going out and doing a circle, if you will, we don't usually use those if we're just going to walk through the parking lot. But if you're like assigned, maybe for some of your churches, maybe on special Sundays, you have people actually assigned to the parking lot. They're going to stay out there. I kind of suggest that you look at those vests and have them wear those just for their safety, since they're going to be out there the whole time. But that's just my opinion. You might seek out some guidance from OSHA, what their guidelines are for paid personnel. We're dealing with volunteers, but tracking those things just for our safety, I think is a good idea, if you will. So having a couple of those vests on hand, you never know when you're going to have to stand in the parking lot, direct traffic, and maybe stop traffic from coming into the parking lot or something like that. So it also is good to be seen. So I don't think it hurts to be seen, if you will, out in the parking lot. Anytime you can, we don't wear uniforms, those kind of things, but anytime that you can be seen walking around the parking lot, I think that's a good thing. So next, we keep snacks. I get some bottled water. I keep bottled water and we'll give that out to anybody that's not feeling good, or sometimes it's just our band members might just need a drink real quick, or I've even had guest speakers who we found out, they didn't bring something. We didn't have anything necessarily on hand, so I grab a water out of the security closet. And I also keep snacks. I keep just a few snack bars in the security closet as well, in our little file cabinet, and those are there for anybody. They might even be for me or one of the other security team members. We're just having a long day or didn't catch breakfast in the morning. But I've also given them to worship team members, band team, as well, that had been practicing a lot or just didn't get breakfast, or maybe even stretched into the afternoon, I think, one of those events. So they needed a little snack. So we keep those kind of things, just a little bit, just kind of an emergency kit for the snacks on hand. And next, I'd suggest some kind of parking cones, security cones, whatever you want to call them. We have the collapsible ones there that you see on the right, and those are a great tool for you to have. Just have those available in case you need to block something off. We've used them for a patch of ice before. We've used them to cone off an area where we wanted other people to park. And so just so you have a few of those on hand, and those are available online. Link in the description as well for those if you want to pick some of those up. And they don't take up a lot of space, being the collapsible ones, and they look really good. They're very efficient when you uncollapse those. So I strongly recommend you have those on hand, even though you might not use them very often. Then you have them available just in case something goes wrong or you need to block something off. So I'd recommend you have at least 3 or 4 of those on hand. Next, in our security closet, taped to the door, inside of the door, so when you open the door, is the local police information. So what the non-emergency phone number is for police, for fire. And then I also have on there our address, so that our actual church address, so that if somebody's nervous or stressed, usually we've got people in the lobby. We've used greeters, ushers before to call 911 and to call a non-emergency number as well. And so those folks are typically in the lobby. So we've got it right there on the door in case, sometimes they might not even know the address of the church or remember the address of the church. And if we're nervous, who knows? So I would definitely recommend you have a little sign in there that gives those non-emergency phone numbers to call police and fire, and have the address of the church there too as well. We also keep in our security closet, we keep name tags, or they're actually identifying tags that say that we're guest services and identify us as that. So they don't have our names on them, but they're generic tags that identify us as guest services. and those are hanging up in the closet for them to grab because it's right up front. Grab those tags to identify them, and so they can start their shift as well. Now, our radios, I'm not going to be mentioning radios in here because they're not in our closet. They're back in another room, back away from the main part of the church. So when we come in for the day, we'll grab a name tag, and we'll go back to that room and get our radios so that are kept in another location. But these things are right up front. So, and next week, because we're right up front, we have an area for the greeters and others that are working within the lobby or within that area. We have one shelf that's available for them to put their purses. So just for security purposes. When I first came to the church, it was like a sea of purses up front. So just on the front tables and stuff, people would just put their purses, and it was just, to me, it was a security nightmare if somebody walked in there. Plus, people would walk off and leave their purses there. So, and I definitely understand that. So not picking at them, but just they're not as security minded as we are. So I gave them a space in that closet where they can just open the door and put their purse in there. And there's nothing really sensitive in that closet. So it doesn't hurt from a security perspective. We're just helping them to be safer. And I don't want the embarrassment of a theft during church from somebody that's working as a greeter. So what else is in your security closet? I talked about those things. Those are the basic items, and those are the things that we really need, and we need to have access to quickly or during a difficult time or during an emergency. And so I'd like to hear from you what your items are in your security closet or your security room, whatever that is. And so leave me a comment down below, and I'd love to hear those things that maybe I forgot. Your perspective is I forgot, or that you have in addition, that you've decided that you need in addition. So we'd all love to hear that. We'd love to see those comments in the community. So I want to encourage you to go to our website, churchsecurityanswerman.com, if you have questions or you're looking for other resources besides all our videos on our Facebook page and those different things that are available for you. And I'd also recommend that you take a look at this video, because this continues on our discussion and is very appropriate for you as well, being part of church security.